to the Spirit, to the Spirit of love. I pray for you, you pray for me. We're all a part of God's body. I love you, I need you to survive. I pray for you, you pray for me. I love you, I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you, I need you to survive. I pray for you, you pray for me. I love you, I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you, I need you to survive. I pray for you, you pray. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you, I need you to survive. I pray for you, you pray for me. I love you, I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you, I need you to survive. I'm opening to the Spirit,
Well, good morning and welcome. What a joy it is to see you all here today. Those of you who are with us here in person, thank you for being here. Wonderful to see your beautiful faces. And if you're online watching us live, know that our energy and hearts go out to you, and we feel your energy here as well. And if you're watching during the week, know that you're in our hearts and in our prayers. Welcome to Unity. If you're new to Unity, what we want you to know is that Unity is an inclusive spiritual movement. We've been called welcoming and inclusive by people from all walks of life, seeking a deeper experience of spirituality in their lives, a greater expression of health, wholeness, and abundance, people who are looking for spiritual growth, transformation, and to do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Rusty Gaylord as our platform leader, Margot LeDuc as our soloist, with Russell Norman on piano, and Polo Jones is on drums, and Felix is on the live stream, and we're just so blessed to have you all here today. And so we'll begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Margot leads us in song.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. All right. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. One more time. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. We're gonna let the love wash over us. Here we go. We let the love wash over us. We let it be peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Back home to love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Good morning. My name is Rusty Gaylord. I am happy to be your platform leader today, and I'd like to welcome you all to Unity's Palo Alto's Sunday service, and welcome also to those of you who are joining us online live or later during the week. Unity here in Palo Alto is part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education. And Unity sits at the intersection of spiritual principles and practical tools, helping you to apply both of those things, the principles and the tools, to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. You are welcome here. We are a welcoming community. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we are happy that you're here with us today. Unity has 5 principles that we use to guide us in our spiritual path. The first principle is God is. There is one power and presence active in the universe, and that is God, the good omnipotent. Whether you call that God or love or abundance or isness, whatever word you put on that, it is that power that is here, everywhere present in the universe. Our second principle is I am. That power and presence is not out there somewhere, it is in here. It is in me, it is in each one of you, and it is in every person and in all of creation. Our third principle is the practice of it is the law of mind action. Thank you. I get a little cheer for that. The law of mind action tells us that we have the power to affect our world through our thinking by what we're putting our attention on. And our fourth principle is the practice of prayer and meditation, which helps us to put our attention on the power of God active in our lives and in the whole universe. And our fifth principle, without which none of the others work, is the practical application of all of these tools. Because as we live according to these truths every day, we become what we were meant to be, what we were created to be, which is a living expression of God, which at Unity we call the Christ. These 5 principles are the core foundation of our vision statement, which I encourage you all to say with me all together. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And so it is. And now for our call to worship.
As I say our tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am free.
And now for a reading from the Daily Word. Today's daily word is light. I will read the affirmation and then invite you to say it with me. The light of truth dissolves all darkness. Together, the light of truth dissolves all darkness. A bird's cheerful song interrupts the quiet of the night. The dark sky grows lighter, and puffy clouds begin to glow with a beautiful shade of pink. Brilliant rays announce the sun's arrival. The sun peeks over the horizon, flooding the new day with light. Light dissolves darkness in my consciousness in a similar way. At a challenging time, my heart responds to the hopeful thought that this too shall pass. Hope grows into faith as my mind opens to divine wisdom that is always mine to claim. Guided by the dawning light of truth, I see the way forward and follow it with confidence. As surely as each new day brings a sunrise, my faith assures me the light of truth will dissolve the darkness of any obstacle I may face. The scripture passage is from John chapter 1. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it.
You are not hidden. There's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless. Though you have been broken, your innocence stolen. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. There is no distance, it cannot be covered over and over. You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter, I'll be your armor. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear you whisper, you got nothing left. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hardest fight. It's true, I will rescue you. Oh, I will rescue you.
Wow, that's the wrong slide. You ever feel like you need a vacation? No, seriously. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Margot. I just have to pause because that was moving. Thank you. And thank you, Russell. The two of you together are liquid gold. You ever feel like you need a vacation? So think about the last time you had a vacation, right? You had that thought, I need a vacation. So for me, I grew up, when I was growing up, elementary school, we always had vacations. Every Memorial Day weekend, the family would go camping. So we had a very inexpensive racing boat that was converted to a ski boat. So it could very easily, pull like 12 people out of the water. And inevitably broke down during the trip, and that was just part of the trip. My dad would get in there and start fixing the boat. And but around this time, right, mid-March, as final grades, I don't know, as in elementary school, we didn't have finals back then, but it felt like I could feel the anticipation of Memorial Day weekend, and I started to feel that idea I needed a vacation. Back then, I didn't have to worry about it, because all I knew is I was getting in the truck at 3 in the morning, and we were heading up to Bass Lake or Shaver Lake or something. But when's the last time you felt like you needed a vacation? And what was the first thing that you thought of when you thought, I need a vacation? What was the first thing? Anybody? Relax. Have fun. Oh my God, you guys are so advanced. I thought the first thing was going to be, where do we go? To the beach. Where are we going to go? Hawaii. And then what do you think after that? Where see family? Where are we going to stay? How are we going to get there? What to eat? So often we go so quickly to the how. How are we going to do it? How are we going to get there? How are we going to afford it? And then the what? What are all of the things that we want to do and accomplish and do while we're there? Because we're on vacation, right? And so whether it's, I remember a long time ago, before we were married, Tiffany and I took a trip to Italy, and it was a 4-week trip. I think it was fantastic. Way back in the day, we were both in high tech, and we had everything planned out, every hotel, every activity, and halfway through it, it just all, like, we just kind of broke down. We said, to heck with it, because we forgot our why. We went right to the how, and the what, and then we forgot while we were there to enjoy it. It got to be like you got home from vacation and needed a vacation from your vacation. Anybody feel that way? Because we were so busy doing it that we forgot that we were there to relax, to de-stress, to have fun. And hopefully those things happened along the way, but it wasn't our focus. And so as we begin any journey, whether it's a vacation in your life or whether it's a goal that you have or a career that you're following, whatever that future looks like, you're building your future now in this present moment. And that's what we're doing as a spiritual community. It's like we're back together again for the second time. I said I would never say that word again. It's just like, no, we're just going forward. But it feels different for me because this is the time where we're going to build our future. The first time when we opened in August, it was like, well, we're just going to wait and see, right? Let's just open slowly. It'll be what it'll be. We might have to close, and we did. And now I'm not saying it's still going to be with what is, right? We might have to close, whatever. But we're looking at it, let's look at it from a different perspective of what's our why. Why? Why continue to come to church? Why continue to come to your spiritual center? Why open the bookstore? Thank you, Mary, for doing that. Why, and I hadn't planned on it, why, do all these things? Come back to our why, because the rest will follow, right? The what it is will come right after that. And there are many ways to do it. There are many things that we could do, but let's get back to the why. So we're building our future, and it all begins in this present moment, because in this present moment is when you are creating right now. Whatever that vacation is or that future is for us, whatever that goal is or that dream is, you're creating it right now. Even if you're not thinking about it, you're still creating it. And we create it through the power of faith. Now, I want to take just a brief moment to talk about faith, because it's easy to misunderstand, and there's a lot of things that people look at it, and it's not quite what unity teaches. And I want to tell you what unity teaches to the best of my ability in this present moment, so that you might have a deeper understanding of it and see how it affects you in your life. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that this is what we have found to be true for us when we practice it in this way. So faith, the idea comes from, Charles Fillmore talks about this, one of the co-founders of the Unity movement, in case you didn't know, talks about faith as being one of the 12 powers, right? One of those abilities, those spiritual abilities that we all have within us. So it's more than a belief. It's more than a frame of thought. It is a power within us. And he derives it from the 12 powers from the 12 apostles. And Peter was the very first apostle, and Peter represents faith. And upon this church, upon this rock, you will build our church. And metaphysically and metaphorically, what he's talking about is this idea of the Christ consciousness, of building that consciousness within you that lifts you up, that aligns you with God, that brings you closer to one another. That idea of that higher consciousness, that you might call it your super consciousness is one of the terms, but that better self of you, that's where we want to come from. And faith is the first component and the most important component to start your foundation of that idea. Now, faith comes from our knowing of our oneness. And we talk about oneness a lot, but the oneness is this idea that you are one in the kingdom of God. See, as Jesus, the master teacher, Jesus the Christ once said, seek first the kingdom of God. Seek first that consciousness, that awareness. Seek first the realization that you're already there. We're going to take a deep breath. Because that's hard for us to imagine sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes our brain is focused on the what's going on in our life. Sometimes our brain is focused on how in the heck am I going to get from here to the end of the month? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to, finish that test, finish that project, get ready for the friends that are coming to visit on vacation, and plan for all of the things that we're going to do while they're here on vacation? How am I going to get there? We're so focused on the how and the what that's out there in the future that we're not here in the present moment, the consciousness of God. And that's what oneness really is. If we are all, as Rusty said, God is everywhere present and in all things and in all beings. And so God isn't just here. and here. God's in every atom in the universe. And if God is everywhere present, as we say, as I like to quote Eric Butterworth, God is in you like the ocean is in the wave. If God is in you, then you're already in the consciousness, that God consciousness. We just have to align ourselves with it. And that's where faith comes in. Now, some people confuse faith with believing. And they're not quite the same. Trust me, I have many beliefs that are false, that are wrong. Some of them are automatic or underlying subconscious beliefs, right? Some of them are unconscious biases. Some of them are things that just, I base my habitual patterns on, right? We just get up and we go do these things. But beliefs aren't necessarily true. Beliefs are the realm of the intellect. So the beliefs are the realm of the brain, and the brain, that's its job, is to think, as well as keep you alive and keep things running. But faith goes beyond the mere intellect. Faith includes the whole of your consciousness, your conscious, your subconscious, your superconscious mind. It includes that idea of the Christ consciousness, that point within you that is pure and untouched, that is that spark of divinity, that oneness, that where God is. That's where faith comes from. And when we exercise faith, that's when we're thinking about this idea of oneness. And when we start to live our lives from that idea of oneness in the consciousness of God, oneness of the consciousness with each other, we realize that every decision I make affects the whole, all of you. Did you know that? When you woke up this morning, I was affecting you. The way we show up and the energy that we bring to a room, whether we're shining that light or not, whether that light is buried deep somewhere beneath you, beneath me, it's still there. But how am I showing up? And so when we move into this idea of getting ready to go somewhere or building our future, building your future, building a future or the future, because we're all building it together. The spiritual center is just an example of how we build something together, just like your work is, just like your friends or your retirement community or your family, or just like any group of people that you are associating with. You're building it together. And so how you show up affects the whole. So when we look at, we're going to use this as an example, because why not? It's a little self-serving. But you'll forgive me, right? We'll use Unity Palo Alto as our example. We know what the whats are. There's a Sunday service, right? How do we do the Sunday service? Well, I don't know. This morning at 9:45, I didn't think it was going to come off. Everything was broken back behind there, and somehow the magicians get it all working, and the energy that they bring, their why, lifts us up beyond it. Moved me to tears. When we get back to our why. You were singing that song, I Will Rescue You. And what kept coming to me is, why am I here? What's my why? What's your why? We started a process at our annual meeting, which is an opportunity for everyone to come together. And I think we had many of our members there, and we had a couple of people that weren't members. And I posed this question because those are the ones who were really the stewards of our spiritual community, the ones who were showing up, the ones who were helping us make decisions and moving forward. So I asked that question, why Unity Palo Alto? So I want to ask you that question. Why Unity Palo Alto? And just take a moment to think about it. And, I'm going to read some of these reasons that people came up with. And you might hear a few whats in there. You might hear a few hows in there. And when you think of yours, look at it and say, well, why is that important? So, for example, one person said, Why Unity Palo Alto? Joy and uplifting for all. To be expressions of divine love. For spiritual growth. To help people live better lives. To grow conscious in communities. To grow consciousness in communities. To connect our spiritual center. Spiritual growth, connection, service. To love and respect all and exude that in its presence. To be of service and hold space for others. To open to greater understanding of their divinity. To grow spiritually, to be closer to God, to inspire others to grow spiritually. To grow a spiritual community for all. To change our thinking for the better, to change our world for the better. To live the serenity prayer. To learn to use an understanding love. And I apologize, there was one that came in through the email, and I forgot to add it to the list. You know who you are, but I haven't forgotten you. So think about why Unity Palo Alto, because this is a great exercise for you when you are considering doing anything in life. Going anywhere, getting up in the morning. Why am I getting up in the morning? We all get up in the morning. We all get up in the morning, whether we're out of bed or not, right? Mentally, we're getting up. But what's your why? What gives you purpose? What gives you meaning in life? What gives you the motivation? Because it's in the why that you're going to find that motivation. And that's why Jesus talked about Peter being the foundation, because his faith was unwavering at times. And then there are times when it fell off the planet. And he pretended he didn't know Jesus. He called him rude names to be part of the crowd because he forgot. It's not that the power of faith stopped working. It's just his connection with that Christ consciousness within, connection with that oneness within, stopped. He stopped that connection within him. I was about to say it stopped working, but it never stops working. It's just always there. But we forget that. We cover it up with our complaints about what's happening or what's not happening. So when we begin this process, it's really important when you begin anything, before you start thinking about the what and the hows, is to start thinking about the why, is to turn within. Before you step out into the world, we have to step in. We have to step into our inner spiritual knowing. We have to step into that place within us where we can recognize that oneness and realign ourselves with that oneness before we step out. So if you've been thinking about what your why is, why do you come here? Why do you participate online? Why do you check us out in the middle of the week? However you connect with us, whether it's on our social media, why do you do it? What does it give to you? What's the purpose of it? Just think about that. And what I would like to invite you to do is to send it to me through email. jriley@unitypaloalto.org. My email's on our website if you can't remember it. And to look at your why. Because next week we're going to be stepping out. Next week we're going to be looking at the what. What do you want to accomplish here? What do you want to create here? Forget about the how. We get so wrapped up in, well, how are we going to do that? We're going to have to fundraise. We're going to have to, change a building or something. Forget all of that. Come from that state of why. Because if your why is anything like the idea of creating a space where we connect with like-minded people, creating a consciousness that we can rise so that we can change the consciousness of the planet, creating a place where we can be who we're come here to be, regardless of what we look and how we talk about each other, to include all people of all colors, all races, all sexual identification, all gender identification, all sexual orientation, to include people of all, even, dear God, religious backgrounds and thinking. It's not that we're going to teach all religious backgrounds and thinkings. We're going to teach unity, but we're accepting a view of everyone to say, come and take what works for you and leave the rest behind. Because we all have that, what we call that realm of possibility. We're living in our own realm of possibility. And then there's a realm outside of that. And then there's a realm outside of that, but you can't get there until you've grown a little bit from the inside out. So what is your why? Why are you here? Why do you get up in the morning? What gives you purpose? What gives meaning in your life? When you show up in the world, what raises your spirits? So I was talking about the other day, a couple weeks ago, my trip to Hawaii, and one of the things that we wanted to do was go see the manta rays, the giant manta rays off of the coast. And my daughter Erin and my son Ethan and I got on a boat at 10 o'clock at night or however late it was. It was one of the last boats out. And we went out there, and it was a little cold at night, and we were heading out there with the experience, with the anticipation, the what's the word I'm looking for? Excitement, yes, expectations. I was expecting to go out there and see these giant manta rays and to swim with them, and then we get out there and there's no manta rays. None. And on the way back, I'm like, well, that's okay, I'm a spiritual guy. How can I look for the good in this? And I've got a little star chart on my phone, and I started looking at the constellations and the beautiful moon that was out there, and I said, hey guys, look, there's Orion's belt. You could barely see it. Where's the North Star? Well, I'm used to it being up there, but for some reason it was way down there. I don't know where Hawaii is on the planet, but apparently the stars move. And I got the kids all excited about that. And they were, oh, yeah, look at that. So we made this experience into something new. That lasted for about 1 minute and 38 seconds with them. Why are you laughing? I tell you, 1 minute and 38 seconds in the mind of a teenager is a lifetime. So they went on doing their thing, and I went on back to my thing, trying to convince myself that I could name all the stars by the end of the trip. It just is what it is. And then I came back, and a dear friend brought me and bought me a little crystal manta ray. Isn't it beautiful? So this is on my window shelf in my office. And what I can do because of this wonderful power of faith and imagination is I can put myself in that experience and not look at it and say, oh, I really wish I could have seen the manta rays. Right? How often do we do that after a vacation? But go back to my why. I just wanted to be with, be one with the ocean and experience it. I've been snorkeling before. I know what it's like to be in with all the fish. It's pretty cool. And I can go back there in my mind and think about that. So this reminds me of my why, to be one with the all of the universe. I had another talk when I was talking about my childhood, and of course, because I read so much. I'm a great okay. So one of my favorite books on the planet is Go, Dog, Go. I'd like to read a bit from Go, Dog, Go. Dog. Big dogs and little dogs. Black dogs and white dogs. One little dog going in, 3 little dogs going out. See, you're so enwrapped. I love it. Isn't it great? You're looking for the spiritual truth or something? A red dog on a blue tree, a blue dog on a red tree, and a green dog on a yellow tree. Why would this be one of my favorite books? Can anyone tell me? I'm a color guy. Some big dogs and some little dogs going around in cars. Oh, the guy's out of the car. He's got to fix his car. That was like my boat. You guys haven't got the right answer yet. I'm going to keep reading until somebody keeps talking. Why would I think this is the best book on the planet? Yes! From the wisdom from the wisdom. Because my inner child never left me. Anytime you mention go, dog, go, I'm brought back to my why. And back then, it was all about, exploration. It brings me back to that feeling of youth and wonder in the world and seeing things new, seeing different colors. Even though my brother's colorblind or color deficient, he probably can't see the difference between green and yellow. But, sorry, Dave. So it brought me back to this idea of who we've come here to be. That's what our why does, and that's the power of faith. When we come from that power, that realization of why, the realization of faith, the energy of faith, then we create from that. Faith is our ability to create, and we are creating all of the time. Some people talk about it as if we have a lack of faith sometimes. Because, we get in despair. We get frustrated. We get sad. Where's my faith? Why is God doing this? Well, God, in Unity's perspective, doesn't do. Life just is. And yet our faith wanes because we forget that we're one with the allness of life. I'm one with those manta rays, even though I didn't see them. I'm one with that blue dog going in and those 3 green dogs coming out. I'm one with that. I'm one with all of you, and you are all one with each other. So as we create this spiritual community, as you create communities in your life, bring up the question of why. Now, sometimes there are communities like maybe we're on the board of something and we want to, make a change in the world. But sometimes we get so caught up in the politics of the board of our community or in the world, something that we want to change in the world. We get so caught up in the what and the how that we forget our why. And if you go back to the why, the what and the how work itself out. And it may not be how you expected it to be, right? We talked about this last week as Edison, of course, the quote, he took 1,000 different ways, took him 1,000 times to create the light bulb. Just 1,000 steps to create a light bulb. So if we looked at it from that perspective and being willing to shift to a new step, instead of being rooted and grounded in this is the only way to do it. This is the only way, this is the only thing that we can do. But rather say, okay, this isn't working out so well. What's the next step? Let's see if there's another way to do it, another what. Let's see if there's another how. Let's move to our affirmation. I'm not even sure I have the right PowerPoint up right now. Nope, that's not it either. Nope, that's not it. Nope. Okay, I'm going to read it on my phone. If I can find my phone. And y'all actually, Felix, if you can put it up on the screen, then I can read it from the screen because that part's working. So the affirmation slide, there we go. It's a simple one. I'm going to read it a few times to allow you to hear it as well as embody it, and then we'll step through it. I step within. I step within. Together? I step within. Open to divine wisdom. I establish unwavering faith, and my vision is clear. Open to divine wisdom. Together? Open to divine wisdom. I establish unwavering faith, and my vision is clear. Together? I establish unwavering faith, and my vision is clear. Open to divine wisdom. The first thing that we have to do on any step is to turn within. Every vacation, every plan, every dream, every goal began with a thought. And behind that thought was the divine impulse for you to be you, for you to express that beautiful divine consciousness, for you to allow it to be in your way. And then we get to choose how we show up. We get to choose what we do. We get to choose how we do it. That's our choice. Isn't that awesome? It can be a little daunting. You have to take responsibility for it. And when we come up against step number 728 and it doesn't work, that's okay. There's another way. Just go back to that idea, that consciousness. Let's take this into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. As we take a nice, deep, cleansing breath, I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply soften your gaze. As we step within, we allow all of the things that came before this present moment to drift away. All of the sensations that we have of the things that are around us, we tune out. As you breathe, you might focus on your feet, wiggling your toes, stretch your hands a little bit. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel yourself grounded in the earth. And feel the energy of gravity, that pull, drain you of any stress, any strain. Grounded in the earth, we allow our thoughts to settle. We breathe into this present moment as our emotions settle. Stepping within to that inner resource, the inner source of life, love, and wisdom. Breathing into our oneness, our consciousness of spirit, a consciousness of love, a consciousness of peace. With each breath, we sink deeper. Feeling that radiant energy enfold us, run through us, shine as us in the stillness of the silence. Wrapped in the harmonizing energy of divine love, I turn within. I step into this infinite supply of life, love, and wisdom, allowing the divine to breathe me. As I step within, the way is made clear. My vision is clear. My heart is clear. My mind is open to divine inspiration. My feet are willing and ready to step forward. In all that we do today, in all that I do, I express this energy of love. I allow that infinite power of love to radiate from me, to surround every person that I meet today. Overcoming any thoughts, any beliefs that I might have about them. I hold this consciousness of peace for our planet. As we surround our prayer chest and all of the prayer requests that have come in online, knowing that divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. As I surround my friends and family, my colleagues, my coworkers, my neighbors, people that I see walking on the street with that energy of love. As I surround all of the world, national, state, and local leaders, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, for goodwill, equality, and justice for all people. And as I surround with love all of those who are in conflict, surrounding everyone in the Ukraine with our love, surrounding everyone in the world with our love, knowing that divine love is lifting up each person, feeling that divine energy lifting me up, lifting you up. And in this present moment, we give thanks and we celebrate by singing the Alleluia. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, let us return our attention to this space in this time and gently open your eyes if you haven't already done so. And allow that feeling, your why, to inspire you today. Allow that love to shine. Allow that light to shine. Unity Palo Alto is here to help you discover that spiritual magnificence within you and help you live that every moment of the day. We take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and we say thank you as we move into a time of a spiritual practice of giving, of living in the flow of abundance. There are many ways in which you can support our spiritual community. And however you choose to support us, whatever you choose to give it with love in your heart. For it's the manner in which we give to the world that we receive from the world. If you're here in the sanctuary and you'd like to give a gift, there is a box in the back of the sanctuary that says love offerings. Feel free to put your gift in there. And if you're at home, of course, you can give online or however you give and whatever's right for you. The affirmation that we say is on the screen. And I invite you to affirm it with me together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Higher than the mountains that raise, stronger than the power of praise, and it's constant through the trials and the change. One thing remains. One thing remains. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love, your love, your love, your love, never runs out on me. Your love, your love, your love, your love.
There's a why for being here every day. Thank you, Margot. Well, I hope you all thought about why you are here at Unity, why you come. And we want to offer several whats and hows to share with you about how you can engage more deeply in the community. One of the things I have always appreciated about Unity is there's always something beyond what's going on here on Sundays for you to get involved in, so you are invited. There are a couple of opportunities specifically that I want to share with you. The first one is an upcoming class called Getting Real on Race. Yes, we do have it. Excellent. With Cindy Ackerman. And that is coming up in April, and it is on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. Did I get that right? Indeed. So more information on the website, but this is, you do not have to come to every Wednesday. You can drop in to any session. Everybody is welcome. Wherever you are, this is an opportunity to explore race and various topics of race. So you're all invited. The second opportunity I want to share with you is a class that John is offering. And so this is Lessons in Truth, and it is based on the book by Emily Cady, thank you. Emily Cady, this book is sold over 1 million copies. So, you know, if you're looking for an opportunity to dive more deeply into some of the Unity principles, this is a great one. So this is Tuesdays in the evenings coming up in April with Reverend John. So that's bound to be a wonderful class. I've gotten one more opportunity to share with you, and this is one that is not so far in the distant future. As soon as we finish the service here today, we have some birthday cake to celebrate Reverend John Riley's birthday, which was just this past Friday. So please join us out in the courtyard for some cake after the service. We also want to just take this opportunity to welcome you all. We normally would be exchanging hugs and handshakes here in the sanctuary. We ask you to save those until we get out in the courtyard. If you are online, you can drop a note in the chat. So if you're on a social media channel that has that, just go ahead in the chat and say hello, happy Sunday. And also want to see if there's anybody here who is here for the first time or back after a long absence. We have an opportunity to welcome you. Excellent. Thank you. Welcome. And if there's anyone else here, you are welcome to also, and anyone online, there's a welcome card. It's in the back of the pew here in the service, in the sanctuary. And if you're online, you can find that at the website, unitypaloalto.org/live. Fill that out, and it's a way for us to connect with you. It is also the second Sunday of the month, which means it is the Sharing Abundance Sunday. And so we have a little video to share with you about one of the organizations in our community that your generosity to Unity enables us to share that generosity out into the community.
Hi Unity, my name is Allison Hadasaki Smith, and I'm the Area Director for Young Life in the South Peninsula. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for your continued support of our youth program. Hi Unity, my name is Allison Hadasaki Smith, and I'm the Area Director for Young Life in the South Peninsula. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for your continued support of our youth program in the Mountain View and Los Altos area. This year's money will go towards our Camp Scholarship Fund, which will help underrepresented youth attend a week-long summer camp. So we really appreciate your support. Thank you for thinking of us. And please know that the money gifted is going to go to such a great cause, which is bringing experiences of adventure in safe environments for students who otherwise might not get that opportunity.
So we are going to take this opportunity now to bless the Young Life South Peninsula. So we have a blessing on the screen. Please join me and we'll all read it together. Young Life South Peninsula, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we hold the expression of love that you are. And so it is. And now please stand as we sing together the Song of Peace.
And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week and enjoy cake.
All my blessings, God gives me everything. God is my source, God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Thank you.